Imagine me there while you are here. I'm thinking of you, and distance is nothing. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine no light, I hear where we are. Imagine it's gone, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands, the sunlight just for you. Imagine no light, I hear where we are. Imagine it's gone, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands, the sunlight just for you. Imagine me there while you are here. I'm thinking of you, and distance is nothing. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine no light, I hear where we are. Imagine it's gone, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands, the sunlight just for you. Imagine me there, I'm thinking of you. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine me there, I'm thinking of you. I'll go through the whole world to be with you. Imagine no light, I hear where we are. Imagine it's gone, but distance is nothing. I'll breathe in my hands, the sunlight just for you. Whole world to be with you. Whole world to be with you.
Good morning. Whatever it is, wherever you are. So we've definitely got some exceptional frames. The problem I've noticed looking at this is that I have no concept of how much of this preceding stuff is included in that frame. So they're going to have to put out like one character every time we don't do this. And, you know, that will tell me how many of these messages were like in the last round. Other things we had is this first load thing. Which is going off pretty regularly. Excuse me? Is this the right patch? No. What? Now I save again. Loading first object set. How do we do that so many times? Selection flip, once again. Bad spacing. First server messages received equals 3. That's like a bit flag, isn't it? Not done loading first object set. First map load done. Yeah, that's only like once per life. So like this isn't happening. Oh. Not done first loading. But there's an else case. Clear live object set. Base object live set. Check if they're loaded yet. They're holding and their clothing. Next to all objects in grid. Base object to live object set. Started loading first object set. Is this thing ever not equal to 3? Show loading screen. Okay, there's the and one. First map chunk just received. And and 2, or 2. So it sounds like 3 is kind of standard operating position. Hasn't gotten first messages from still waiting birth. It's like, how is this section regularly taking multiple milliseconds? Like a lot. And that's not all the time that we're losing. I mean, let's cycle time, blah, 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 blah. Last draw time. There's also sync. Okay, sync never even occurs. So we're not losing it there. Frame time. Never an issue. Section, moving objects, mouse over. Never an issue. First load. Yeah, that's all we got. We'll see how bad that is. So what does a typical cycle look like? Now, I do not, of course, have a server with lots of stuff going on. Build. Yeah, only our first one. There's all our dots. Ooh. Well, this is probably startup stuff. So you often have frames where nothing happens. And then you can have a lot happen during one frame. Mostly it seems to be, since I'm the only person here, the only things only seem to be happening when we get a key message. Okay, so my other question is, what the heck is happening? Do I have any first loads in here? No. Why is this thing taking time? I'm not really sure what this else is. This is not first. It's doing some kind of clear. Didn't know if that was even really enough to load anything. Okay, didn't trigger that. We're seeing 3C every single cycle. Which is maybe more work than I was expecting. Clear live object set, which isn't defined here. Live object ID map, live sprite ID map, live sound ID map. Well, then what does it do with that? Live object set. Oh, you know what? There used to be a thing where he would load sprites and stuff on demand, and he did the kind of the preload thing. Next, all objects in grid. Mark emotions live. Finalize live object set. Monument call object always follow set. Follow transitions one step, adding new objects into our list. Live sprites. Live sounds. I need to figure out what this is actually used for, though. if that is the no longer used dynamic loading, then it could just be skipped. $688 live sounds, 592 live sprites. And we were in pretty much the same scene the entire time. But it is, in fact, doing all of that stuff all the time. No, 16708, 600, 845, 642, 594. So it does go down. So that's the live set. What does that do? Is the live object set fully loaded? If mic sound live. Okay, so that's not available here. Sound will never load. Count sound is live, so the parts of the code that are waiting for it to load can move on. Load sound returned false. Our sound not equal to null return true. So this is, in fact, go ahead and load it if it's needed. Oh, and not loading. All right, so let's, I guess the fast way to figure this out is to do something stupid. Is there a good way to skip this? I'm in the middle of a function, so I can't just return. Well, I'm close, but I'd lose my timings. Started loading first object set start time. Done loading first object set. First map load done. Well, we're not seeing first map load done. We are seeing F, though. Is live object set fully loaded? Now, if it was all preloaded, first, you'd expect to see that. Actually, we did see that once. Show loading screen again. Okay, so done loading first object set is persistent. Maybe that's the flag we need to throw in there. Oh, actually, yeah, this is the same section. So this is blah, 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 blah. And then this is actually the... Oh, no, this is exactly that. And then afterwards, we're doing all this stuff. Why is that marked? Else. First object set load start time. Started loading first object set. We might need that. Okay, so we need it for characters. The map works fine. But I guess the characters are not preloaded objects. So that was clearing the entire set. Any direct from death graves. Possible death marker IDs, all players. I mean, I wasn't seeing that we weren't able to draw the player. Maybe it's only the grid we can skip. What does a mouse X have doing going on here? Maybe I got one of my comments backwards. No, actually, player is the part we need. What the heck? How is this a compiler error? So we need the players. Okay. And I guess we're going to go ahead and test if holding objects show up. Okay, holding objects show up. That's even a kind of a brand new object. Yeah, so apparently it just doesn't include the characters in the preload. We didn't touch clothing. What the? Maybe I'm missing a... Oh, you know what? This needs a different brace style. So what are you matching? Okay. So this is a subset of players. I might see emotions getting included in that too. Okay, so emotions are fine. I mean, clothing is probably just map object. I don't think I had any clothing in here yet. Now this is sort of obviously loaded as map objects. So I guess the test there would be to reconnect. Okay, so that's fine. So the only thing we really need is, I guess the display IDs aren't included in the binary object build. I wonder if it's the base object or if it's all sprites. Okay, so it is in fact, so like the character sprites don't seem to be getting included. Oh, maybe because this is the one thing that's all age dependent, so the standard preloading algorithm isn't getting it. Well, I mean, that potentially cuts out a lot of map objects and things. I don't... It might be something he deliberately left in, like, just in case the cache, the pre-build didn't work or something. And you probably sort of need this so that, like, if a new player shows up... Or rather, this isn't something you just do once. I mean, at parts, it's marked as first object set, but I don't know that's actually only used for that. Started loading first object set. So probably that just means it's gone through there once. So this is done. Oh, dang. Wait, where else is that time set? Oh, if it started and it's not done. So you won't do this until you do that once. But then you get done. So is this only needed for the first object set? Okay, so that's... Did not split how we want. Huh? I like map pull stuff. Okay. We're looking for done loading first object set. Okay, so we got here initially. Now what we're interested in is what happens when we get a new character? Okay, you're fine. You're not. Oh. But holding it or interacting with it. Oh. It works as a held object, but not as a player. So the sprites are loaded? I mean, this is something specific to the player, to the player itself. Oh, this is a live object setting. Not a... like display ID setting. And like players are the only thing we really needed there. Oh, that's right, I was in this one. You just went off screen. Oh, pff, you're old. Oh well, we'll be an Eve. You're technically the same model, though. I think. Now that one I'm not sure about. But in your screen, we did get the baby, so that is just an all sprites loaded flag. So, with that, I guess downloading first objects is already kind of skipping it, but I'll make it easier to see the current ones. And we are using a started loading first object set in places. Okay, everybody's visible. I mean, I guess the true answer to that would be for players, would be to do something when you first set them up to check all their sprites. How big of a difference that makes in... Well, update isn't fair because this isn't a multiplayer server. And there's nobody else doing stuff. Oh. So that's interesting. Now, I think the done loading first object set actually... Well, I think this ID was part of the incremental load. Because that is what filled in the new player art as it came in. Or the new player objects. So if anything, this would itself have to be more of a soft option. You know, like enable dynamic loading or something. Or if you did have an out-of-date pack for some reason. Still, even though that was sometimes slow, it does not explain the 1-second pauses. All right, so we've got a printf dot. We've got our spaces, we've got tracking off if we did that stuff. Got our space. And then what blew in? Okay, that's got an extra space. I'm not really sure about that. Ooh. Okay, gotta do both lines apparently. Now I think this entire thing is hunk. Hmm. Nope, that's getting a meta character. And that was one of the things we had updated. Oh, actually, I had another section comment that had that problem. That must have got reverted. All right, so all we've done right now, and I haven't been paying attention to see if we caught any of this in our testing. Oh, that was a longish one. No, we've got a bunch of extra printing right now. Oh, that actually was a long sync. Maybe that was late changing windows or something. Because there were like no messages or anything there. All right. I need to take a little break. I'll be back in a minute or two. Oh, hello. Cotton flower patch. Whatever that means. Somebody's angry up there. Oh, that wasn't shallow water. They really need to work on the signaling. There should be like different colors or something. Well, we just got nothing out of that.
Okay. Sorry, new baby. We have Max, baby.
Junkrat's over to the left somewhere. Can't find him. Oh! What the hell? What's hit me?
Hello there.
Oh.
Sniper detected.
Cannot draw any cards this turn. That becomes a bit more interesting with the 3-cost nightmares, doesn't it?
get some more damage going here, please. Artillery beam! You're so awesome! Let's do that. Boom, boom, boom. His weapons are basically down at this point. We're really... I feel like I would have liked... There we go. That's a good amount of damage. Yeah, man, artillery beam's on point. 2 missiles, 1 drone, 35 scrap, won't accept surrender. Third time that artillery beam is a total bro and takes out their cloaking. Boom! 1 fuel, 1 drone, 45 scrap. Nice. There's a story.
Welcome back. The other thing I need to keep an eye on is... Okay, player starved, player starved. And sometimes we get a server crash. And it's kind of been mysterious why that is. So that appeared to be a straight up sync. But, you know, I might have been changing windows or something here. So sync time is... Yeah, just this first draw. So that Now, I didn't see sync in any of my live things, which is why I don't think that's normally a real issue. Yeah, so there's like almost a 1 second, but I don't know how much of this stuff was within that frame. And these are mostly... But it's actually pretty common that this takes up a couple milliseconds. No, I guess if there are cycles that doesn't take a couple milliseconds, then it kind of washes out in the... well, so here's a question. What FPS category, that's update, that would be in? Nope, still around. 0.3, 0.5. I was seeing some zeros earlier, wasn't I? And we can cut all that out if we do, if not M, done first, loading first object set. And if we tell our players that they are all loaded. Yeah, so typically 0. That might be interesting to do as a switch, and then see how that fares in live server circumstances. There's no evidence that it is behind our extra large cycles, because I don't think... okay, so we go to cycle, we find 9, and then we search backwards for first load. Yeah, it's not significant enough to do that. Also, 1491, 14563, 14, oops. $14,971. That seems pretty far. So it could potentially cut out some overhead. Well, actually that was like 0.3 milliseconds on average. So it seems to have some spiky bits every once in a while. Well, what was it? Was it 2 or 0.2? Yeah, disconnected. Not dead yet. Yeah. That's only 0.3 milliseconds. So you have those regular bad frames. But it's not like it's entire milliseconds. Oh, and then I died connected because I wasn't around to start the music. But if you die connected, it doesn't crash. We know that. Alright, so we've added the dot. So next time we'll know how much, what if there were like any, if it was player updates or what that may have been included in that frame. I'm not sure there's anything else I can interpret out of this right now. The only other question is, why would this sometimes take longer? If it was the first time we loaded a new player, we'd have to go through all their sprites. If somebody was holding a deep object, maybe somebody with a lot of clothes or a horse cart. We're also doing all objects in the grid. So maybe it's really dense maps. Hmm. I wonder if... Now I'm wondering if there's a way to disable loading the preloaded binaries. Because that lazy mode might be better for rapid testing like this. Man, when did he even put the preloaded binaries in? That's probably in game. To auto-generate concrete transitions for abstract code. Rebuilding. Init transbank start. That's the thing he uses like an editor sometimes. Just to see what everything is. And then we had that one error with the numbering where he accidentally added some things while that was on. So maybe it's actually in the banks. Rebuilding cache. Auto generate used objects, variable objects. Init folder cache. So that doesn't necessarily look like it's an optional thing. Oh, should file be cached? I'd probably have to find the commits where it did that. Same behavior, clear sprite cache. Yeah, fixing crashes. Cache not being aware of grid placement status. corrupted. Nudity mod. Now prints version number on startup. No longer fight each over bin cache versions. Need to be cleared after each update. Remove bin cache. And will likely change the update. Thus, unlike other compressed cache files, these should not be included in pre-computed update bundles. Regen tested. Tell programs will deal with bin cache files too. Cleared when new sprite added. Preloading sprites before login. Bin folder cache. So this is sprites only. Init folder cache, init bin loader cache. Bin cache num files. So this is all kind of refactored. So does this have a provision for should we do it? That's Sprite Bank. Load Sprite from raw TGA. Num cache files. So this only loads from bank? You guys could disable all. Should file be cached? Sprites TGA, rebuilding. Let's force rebuild. Init bin folder cache, init folder cache. Raw TGA data. There's cache and there's bin cache. I wonder if that's like compressed and uncompressed. So bin cache is the graphics, and the other cache is the text. So there's actually no change to game. So there wasn't a folder cache. Maybe that was like runtime? It's only the images that got loaded later. There, okay, so step sprite bank. Sprite's loading. Load sprite. If data equals no, reading sprite from file failed. Data. Okay, so that's interpreting data. This is where assuming we've already loaded it. No objects in grid. So this is doing a mark live thing. Mark live, load sprite image. Get sprite. Not called directly in here. Get sprite, which is like if you're going to draw it. Also not used in here. So that's like a completely separate path. So mark live is like a preload. There seems to be some sort of, some sort of loading process before that we changed. Init folder cache. Set loading failure. That was an extracted function. So this must be a progress. So maybe it loaded all sprites, but not all sprite graphics. But yeah, I'm not really seeing anything that has suggested a way to go back to dynamic loading. Alright, so in performance, we need to know what this represents. I'm going to wait on that. I think you're done. Patch submitting, but Jason's working on Project December, it turns out. we had a request for a drag drop flag. Okay, we are clean. What do we touch here? So in draw, we have the draw effect. Mouse held, holding ID, not emotion. Okay, so that's kind of actually independent of the drop action itself, so it's going to have to get flagged. Pointer up is probably going to be the actual drop. So we didn't really add any variables or anything for this. There is no current place to put things. Interaction refactoring. Emotion keys would probably be a whole set of settings. Maybe not. Oh, it was actually in the emotion file. We stuffed stuff in there. Okay. Some of those might have had variables. Net names, free names. Not as much. Well, click-through heads probably had a setting. Which we can probably just find. Or not. Prefer players, okay. And then this is like other standard stuff. Right, because the actual setting file is like 01. I'm not actually wondering if I should just default this off, since I really don't use it. Of course, it's also not in the way. All right, that's just if. And we've got two blocks that all feature mouse held. This looks like our draw. We want a holding ID again. So that's pointer up. How we doing? Nope, last person died was fine. Why do I have 1K channel points? Probably because you're here sometimes? That would be the usual answer. Hey Gary, how's it going? Well, this is in factor settings. So, actually, any simple file will be fine. Cool. What's your particular interest in coding here? All right, so that is on. We got default value. All right, so neither the action or the visual effect work. So we set that file to 1. And we get that back. I don't know if there's any other combination that would be super easy to set up here. Maybe something like, cool. Use that and then cut this. Okay, 0 pliers line. Oh, just the last. I'm getting the server and not getting any messages. That's interesting. Pardon me, it's allergy season. Alright, drag, drop, use, setting, check the setting. The server console. Oh. Oh. Okay, I see you right click. Interesting, I had not run across that before. I guess that's the keep the thing we were trying to select and it's constantly moving on you. And I was like, it's really easy to do that when you're just clicking over to focus the window. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, the settings tend to conflict. Next one. That's right, you have to add them into this case. No, da, 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 da. Patches master. This is going to be a changelog. Yes. Um. Oh, this is also going to be a package files. What do we conflict with? Click to move, locked, interact. And patches master readme. We should have some simple toggle examples here. And I have to change the key. And they're all not unusual. There we go. You got any other little things? We had a request to search for somebody dead before. And I need more water. I will be back in a bit. Oh. Again? Maybe it's an accident every time my mom has killed me. I don't.
Too many programmers try to tell me their code is well self-documenting. What the F do you think that means? It's not. If it's self-documenting, probably got your own problems.
A little bit here.
Alright, we're back. So I think I did a brief look at this just to see if it would be possible. And it looked like the information might be there. Alright, we're up here, which is going to have a series. So this would be person search. Is it person search? Player search. Okay, so we had something changed here. So we also want to check the names of graves. No. Oh, well, I think I looked at logs, and actually we've got a log up here. What's the protocol? So we've got grave move, grave old. But that should be maintaining a grave record in the client, so we can just search that. So, in theory, we're getting that. We're getting moved. Old grave that wasn't created during your lifetime. In response to a grave message from client. Great grandmother ID, Eve ID, underscored name. So I think all of that already gets tracked. Although if it was an old one, you'd have to mouse over it to see it. So there's the grave info object. Show. All right, what are we touching right now? Living name match. Go through game objects. And we kind of rewrote some of that stuff. Now, it looks like it's more the pointer stuff, though. Get live object person ID. So this might have some impact, though. If we have a location slip that's not pointing to a person. Or to a live player. We may not have a display character ID then either. So if I find a grave object, so if we find that, else we could try, else we try graves. And I guess in that case, you wouldn't necessarily link it to a player ID, because you're not going to be able to like, follow them or anything. Technically, you could get grave updates, but that's not too terribly likely. So we're going to be looking at like grave name match. Okay, so game objects is just loose here. Hey, MMB. How's it going? Grave info is an M. So we have this weird thing where that function is loose in this file, and grave info is going to have to be a member function. Clear owner info. I'm owner info, handle anim sound. There's not really any other grave functions around. I guess if we have grave info, like owner info, clear owner info, then we should do this near here. Living name match. You return a live object. How do we normally deal with grave info objects? Get element. No, let's delete all. Okay, so it's not unusual to deal with them as pointers. Grave name match. Alright, so living name match. And you are a living life page. Do we use this elsewhere? Yeah, we use this elsewhere. I think it's allowing for partial matches. So instead of game objects, we're going to have mgrave info. We have... Oh, you're using a G, though. Do we use... I don't think we use the index anywhere else. And this was all O. And we have to check for field compatibility. Relation distance. So that's my other stuff. Grave info, relation name, creation time. Maybe a relation name has the entire name? Draw map cell. So that's my little extra thing. And it's also my little extra thing. Somewhere in draw, we have to handle if we're hovering a grave. A grave we know about. Years ago. Died. Does no comment. Translate of. So does relation name have the entire name? Grave person name. Oh. So what's a grave person? So this was of a live object. So is this like the we got a grave message for a player ID. If we knew the person's name, then relation name is in fact, well, Des. Des unrelated is string duplicate Des, which is their complete name. Which could be awkward. Translate nameless person. Dash relation. Well, we know it's relation name. We'll start with that, and no, unfortunately, I haven't been naming any of my people here, so we may have to find a wolf or something. All right, name length. Ooh, there's some length checks here. The search string length is greater than or equal to name length. So this is requiring an exact match, and then maybe we're counting on name completion for people we have known since we were around. Text length. Greater than or equal to name length. Do you want that to be the other way around? And compare. And see, our name length is going to be much longer here. So it's greater than or equal because we're going to do a subtraction. Right, there's in string plus. Oh, right, because this might is this like the entire string? You know, it works for living. Minus your entire name length. Well, the name length is going to be extra long here. So that's not necessarily going to fly. Cern compare at this string start. Ah, okay, so if the string we're comparing is longer, we want the tail of it. No, if it's like... This is probably left over from... you know, like hello, name, and... Or possibly finding... Well, no, because it can't be longer. At most... Comparing at most the actual name characters. So I might want to, or need to remove relation here. Well, I guess I was going to give it a try, huh? But that looks like it's not gonna work out too well. Nope. Off the GI name. Oh, did we actually call this function anywhere? Filter string. Yes, it's in search. So we don't want to do the match unless we need to. So the standard text was baby. I might have been using that for person. What does a grave info look like, though? So you have a world pause. Oh. Well, you got a was player ID, but I don't know if we want to track in this case. Oh, actually, age. I think that's age. What do we do here? We just copy that. Yeah, in age. In person. So what are we doing with this? Temp person. So that's our live object. Target person, target person equals our live object, which I'm not entirely sure how I want this to look. But we're not going to have a race for them, so it ends up being a race for us. Could be a little weird. If in person, just that entire block. But it might need to be a person to go in that section. Did I add some others for these? I did not really add any to these. Actually, I did grave. Well, I guess we had visitor. Although maybe that got translated. Because if it was a person, well, if it was a person, we'd have to look up the name. That would have to have some hook to point to the grave. And last mouse over time, last mouse over years. Wall clock time when was created. We don't display age. Oh, that's grave age. Alright, I need to know how this gets used. Oh, you've got a creation time. Oh. We're storing a creation time too. What about... current time, but we're doing minus age. So unfortunately, even though they're both creation time, we're going to kind of have to fudge this to get what we want. So it's doing, we've got a creation time. It's going to do current time minus whatever we pass. So get current time minus creation time actually should be the age. This could be weird if it's unknown. Okay. Forget an and. See, they just look like bad syntax. What the heck happened here? It'd be a space, though. Oh, and wrong GI. Okay, so there's nobody here. None of these people were named. What a amazingly wolf-free area. What if the server crashes took him out? I mean, I guess if I dropped you in the Arctic, it probably wouldn't last too long. Well, my hunger rate's down. Ah, Mouflon. All right. No filter match. So we had name completion. We know that's the grave. So this might be the relation name, because this is going to say Twanda O'Neill, your daughter. Which, you know what? I probably shouldn't be standing on well, there's a tree blocking it, so I guess that was safe. Oh, I don't know where you're running. So, grave name match. The most likely thing here is going to have to be we have to take the name and split it. I think it'll... Does it say unrelated? In all cases. Other object relation name. So it starts with that. If it's still null, we do that. At war, at peace. Oh, is that another? If they've got a name, then we put that with whatever else we had. Oh, and yet another dash. Leadership tag. Leadership name tag or leadership name tag. Okay, so add a dash if it's a null. If there is no name, then it's like you're barren, blah 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 blah. Oh, that's gonna make it even more complicated. This might not be super practical. I'm almost wondering if I should actually save the names separately. See, this is a different relation name. No, that's this is a different relation name. That's another object, which is a get live object. Okay, so that's not going to be as complicated. We have grave person, we have unrelated. If there was a name, there should be a dash. So we just say, if there's a dash, we might be able to do that. So right now we're doing Sterling name. What were we doing for, are we doing any other similar operations? So we've got name match. Object search string. So we've got a trimmed filter string. Oh no, right back here. So that was a library thing. Oh no 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 no. So where's my actual search routines? It's object search. Name detection. So we're doing our prefixes. This actually looks kind of like what we base trailing name match. Name matching. Stern compare. Maybe I didn't really using that routine. All right, so if we look at like related functions to start compare. See also wide pairs accords with current locale. That's not very good related. Character manipulation. Examination. Find the first occurrence of a character. First location of any character from a set of separators. A substring of characters. Well, I guess space dash space would be kind of our separator. So actually it would kind of be find the location. Do you have an N variant? No. Wait, result. Result equals stir. Oh, while result equals, so get them all. So in that string, find that string. It gives us a there's a pointer to the string starting there. So given that, we would subtract to see if we had anything. All right, what do we got? We've got you. Oop. We've got you. Okay, we've checked for not equal to null. We've got a name. It just ends up being the relation name, so in string, find the separator. No, I don't know if we're going to have a limit. I don't know that we need to make a separate string. So name is going to be that, and name length and then in string, if there's any extra stuff there, name up to name length. Is that just signed? Yeah. Oh, what the heck is N? Alright, brand new people. I should probably use unique names. Now, this would be a previously unknown grave for you. Tuonda? No. So apparently we starved. Oh, nope, there's that. Oh! She did run across a wolf. No, that's nope. She was going this way when I left. I probably never included that in, Now. Okay, it does point at it. O'Neill? I forget how that's spelled. E-A-I. And those are just going to be temporary. They're looking maybe a little bit old. Alright, so those are graves I've seen. Fill with 3. Oh, the wolf's actually trapped now. Is he actually able to reset now? Oh, he's not. Oh, no, there he goes. It takes a little longer. And that might also be last known position of the player in this case. Well, no, I think they stop being a live object once they're dead. Well, I think that was probably good. We believe that all things will either have unknown person, no relation, or will have unknown person, no relation, or I guess what would happen? Well, it would never be a perfect match. If there was an unknown. I need to describe. Yeah, it's War Peace. Grave person. Does equals null. Unrelated. If name, put a dash. So an unnamed, unrelated person. Which, actually, you might have some of those back down. Well, I guess this server has been up for a little while, so some of these might be known. No, they're definitely unnamed. Old grave of nameless person. Oh, that's not, like, unrelated. That's... Doesn't seem to cause any trouble. Maybe this gets subbed in. If there's just no name. Alright, so what does that add up to? Grave name match. Oh, it wasn't actually showing grave. That's technically old. I still don't like it. But it kind of should be in the object patch as well. And then it'll be a conflict. That was more than I expected. Alright, this entire thing is player search. Make sure that builds. Game source, living life page. Gigit. And then I'm going to be operating. This one actually shouldn't matter as much. We still want to see if we're noticing hitches. Got P. Yeah. Close notes, okay. I don't know if we're going to have too much occasion to actually test that one, but... I haven't had too many problems with babysitting times lately. This is the other thing it could have worked on. Well, or trying to set up scenarios to test the server crash. I guess the only one of those like it was that I really considered. It's like, what if it's like some sort of everybody's disconnected? Well, that would have to do with exactly who is disconnected. What if there's a wolf closer south? Because that one's pretty far away. There's mosquitoes down here. Or there were. Yeah, there's mosquitoes. They're still in slow hunger, though. No, it's pretty much just as far. I wonder if the crashes were taking them out. I guess the nice thing about the top one is that it's kind of a trapped wolf. So you can have a safe spot. Oh, now they're all over the place. And let's see, this instance would not have memory of any of those other graves. All right, so things we might want to try. What if... I think we've had lots of kids die before, so that probably isn't it. So what if you live... And I was naming people, and then I think this happens when they're doing hierarchy testing and stuff. Sure. It's the only completion of that, huh? So you can probably live to at least being able to manage yourself. No, except the point here is that this player is disconnected. Maybe that player is disconnected. But we should see the Eve dive first. Oh, okay. So is it because the dead player is disconnected or because the, like, inheriting player is disconnected? I do need to take a short break, though. Yeah, we'll be able to see when I have hair now. These clothes? Okay. Oh, wow. I mean, I guess, yeah. I think, yeah. It's about.
Okay. I don't know what that... Oh! But I don't want to get any closer! I am not looking forward to this! Get down! Get! Oh! You fly hacks! You fly... Yeah, that was like one of those two. Fly hacks are like, probably like...
Oh, you know what? I can do that. I can beacon this, but I think I actually may have lost track of leaving my beacons as I was just trying to move forward. Oh, that is a definite bug.
Too many programmers try to tell me their code is well self-documenting. What the F do you think that means? It's not. If it's self-documenting, probably got your own problems. Like
Junkrat's over to the left somewhere. Can't find him. Oh! What the hell? What's hit me?
Sniper located. Hello there.
Oh.
Sniper detected.
Alright, so what's it going to take to... If I had to guess, it would be trying to send a message to a disconnected player that, like, you inherited. So we try with the remaining player still connected. Oh, and restart the server. It doesn't really matter. No, we want you to live. So if you're connected, oh, it will rebite if it's stuck. Oh. So it is. All right, so same scenario. What if you are connected? Maybe it's the death of a player who is disconnected? I don't know if it has specifically to do with, like, if there's multiple players or... I guess any... I guess we need to eliminate any... any disconnected player? Okay. So it's not just any disconnected player. But it is if you are disconnected. Is it any disconnected player? Well, we also have to check. What if you're connected? Actually, I guess I could have just spawned wolves. I don't know if I would have had a nice little... I mean, I could have set up a little pen for him. Like, yeah. In the long run, that'll make this a lot faster. So we're going to come in down here somewhere. I'm not sure if with fog. The arrow keys get a little confused here. It really matters which fence you use. Yeah, it'll fix itself up. Let's go fence gate. Uh-oh, I got bouncing. Semi-tame. We got bouncing. Huh. I guess this is probably to help mark, because we've had occasional issues with deadly objects. I wonder what the difference between orange and red is. All right. So do we determine that by yourself it doesn't seem to do anything? Am I like... Oh, is this the baby? Okay. Alright, so what if I am connected and this happens? Okay. Now it's saying that unlogging Eve death. I don't know if that's... right, need a server. I really have not been taking good notes here. So we have done... Eve dead. Daughter alive. Eve dead. Discon. Daughter alive. Discon. Crash. Daughter alive. Con. We've done... Actually, both con and still crashed. Child can't easily follow. I might be able to get... Well, if I have two Eves, then I'm gonna have kids. Oh wait, that was... No, I restarted it. We could probably get rid of the kids. So is it... Well, I can't easily eliminate the Eve that way. Alright, so it doesn't have anything to do with disconnected. I think that's going to be okay. Okay, so you are merely dead. And didn't leave bones. No, the bones got teleported out. How convenient. Alright, so... There's only one person here. So theory, what if it's a leader? I guess if I did the pen with multiple wolves, they could, like, run around in a circle easier. Kind of like the snake pit. Okay. So, the question is... Now, they're both connected. The leader dies. This is something that should really You'd expect to hit the main server more often. Unless it's specifically that it's an Eve. Oh, well, you could follow your own kid. Did I close the client? No. Now, also, does it matter if you're named? Might be useful for following, but... Oh, actually, this is testing two things at once. Okay. So it seems to be something with a leader dies. There's nobody disconnected. Is it when there's only one player? Didn't we have the 3 people before? Yeah, maybe there's only one candidate. The kid followed automatically. Okay. So it seems like any leadership change should be crashing. So this might be peculiar to my build here. Oh, this might be in map. You put DB. Not remembering means not set. Map Eve Death. It's not in here. And it's not in here. What is that? Lifelog.cpp. So reset Eve radius. Dead young Eve count. Double Eve radius. We had players age out, so I don't think it's that. And I'm pretty sure that a non-Eve player did it. Log file cause. Log death. Death logged. Next player is new. Finally died. So where do we do leadership inheritance? Generate a line whenever a player dies. Min families after Eve window. Let's change the number of families. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that happens. We think it would have to do with leadership. Get top leader, get top leader. Yeah, I really need a local compile environment, and then if that environment is different than what I have the Docker, that might actually have something to do with it too. Like, that happens all the time on the main server. And probably happens a lot on the small servers too, and more at this player level. I guess the only thing I could do for that is if I've got a player getting old, follow somebody who's likely to stick around longer. Or maybe, could you just unfollow? All right, no leader. Okay. So, yeah. Don't know what. Something about a leader. Leader's following no one. If leader is following no one, have them follow their fittest. If leader following ID, direct follow now automatically. It sounds like the handling the death. It's like have them follow. Why would if the leader is dead, that wouldn't matter. Not you have died. Where did you get leader name from? Get leadership name in leader. Oh, leader died. But it is we still have a live object. Exiles are passed down to followers. Is follower. I haven't picked an heir. Have them follow their fittest direct follower. They become top of tree. Inform them differently. Other player, not equal to in leader. They were following us. Now they follow our leader or no leader if we had one. Exile whoever we're exiling. If leader name equals no. We've done named and unnamed. Okay, if we found a person for them to follow, the new leader object is who they're following. I guess one other thing we could look at. We have two perspectives on this. We only get one stand log right now, or one clearly. So we have the last message received by our client ourselves. Not just yet. Oh. Somebody went for a run. So you're just about dead. Oh. Nope. You've got, like, no letters. Alright, so we want to try... This is awkward. I kind of need to, like, reset both clients so I know what the stand log is about. So go into you. We will see it from the player who died. What was the last message they received? I guess I could copy the game instance. So we have multiple logs. Okay, so that was probably failed to read from socket. So we got, our last message was heat, so there was no actual messages sent about the death. There was a new placement. I have to figure out what it is, if it's the grave or... Alright, so we get one person. We get another person. Alright, so you are a follower. You will survive. I need to run into here. We've got, what, like a minute? Oh, and you didn't end up in there, so you might die a little bit slower, which could actually work for us. I actually had plenty of time for this. Alright, what did you see? Failed to receive. Heat. Map change. So you have not received any messages. Alright, I'm gonna... if I ever want a tech list, I'm gonna need a... either a local Windows server or... like a full WSL environment where I can edit and run easily. I mean, maybe if I set up a environment, yeah, it'd be a whole new container to have everything set up properly for the server. Oh well, I've actually spent way too long on that. That's it for now. I'm going to be back later to play. Thinking we might do 2 hours, 1 life, since there hasn't been new stuff, and though one of the places I was last time, the person actually gave me the seed for, so we can see what happened to it. That's when I'm usually on. Let's see. We've got some code, we've got some 1 life. Not sure entirely which people we got right now. Well, I'm more likely to be watching 1 life. So if you want somebody actually playing the game, Left Trigger Games is doing that right now. So I need to be over here. There we go. So if there's someplace cool to hang out, thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.